Hi, my name is JD. We'll be talking about some techniques you can use to put buildings more efficiently in SimCity. This is one of my earlier cities you'll see here. It's an electronics specialization city. Nothing wrong with it. Got a decent sized population, making some pretty good money. However, the electronic plants, they're kind of spread out all over inefficiently. They're kind of a pain to set up like industrial zoning next to. You get a lot of like small buildings around them just because they're very inefficient. So there's a tool you can use, or a technique that'll help you measure these more effectively so you can get them into a tighter area. I'm just going to be showing you how to do that. Okay, so I hopped over to sandbox mode for a minute. Sandbox mode is very effective because it allows you to give yourself as much money as you want. The way to do that is hit Alt W. So I'm going to hit Alt W a bunch of times, and you can see, you should see, oh, you can't have the game paused. So let's try that again. There you go. So now I went up to 20 million. Every time you hit Alt W, you get an extra $100,000. So let me pause the game again. So what you're going to want to do to effectively measure stuff, and you can see here I've been trying to lay out things efficiently, and it takes a little playing around. You kind of want to figure out what shapes you want to build, because for instance these electronics factories, there's a lot of freestyle with how you can plop these things down, but a lot of the ways are actually not so great. You can actually let's just pull one of those up right now. Let me dump a little road out here. Okay, so we need an electronics factory. One of these guys, and I'll just dump it down. Okay, so you can see you get one of these assembly lines off to the side, and then if we go to tweak this guy, let's just throw down some TV assembly lines. If you're trying to make this boxy, you could try to maybe dump one of these here and here, or you could drop 3 of these here. Something like that. Now you'll notice that these trucks, there's only 3 spots for trucks now, so you kind of just screwed yourself. And if you're playing a real game, okay, well these things take $100,000, $200,000 for the computer assembly lines to drop these guys down. So it'll help you out a lot if you are coming to the sandbox mode and playing this stuff. So what I typically do is use this L-shape configuration. Now, does that look terrible? Yeah, but I can fit trucks on this back road now. Okay. And the other nice thing is I can drop another factory here. Okay. But I can't do it yet. I'm going to need another road on the other side. Okay, so here's the tricky part. You can't just take your factory and plop it down here, because it's expecting a road on one side of it. I can't put it up against another building. But there is a way that you can kind of get a ballpark idea of where you can go. You go down to the the parks tool, over to nature, and select some trees. And yeah, it sounds weird, but just bear with me. Plop some trees down here. And then what we're going to do is go back to our factory. We're kind of going to use those trees as a guideline. So see how right now it says invalid placement? That's okay. What we don't want is overlapping. That means you're overlapping the other structure. So this is going to let me know as close as I can get to that structure. And I don't care about the right side of the building right now. I just care about the bottom of it. So I'm kind of looking at those trees in the top there, and I'm saying, okay, I want to cut those trees off with the road right along the border of where my factory currently is. So I'm just seeing, like, okay, I see 3 big green trees and some brown trees. I'm going to try to make my road go right around these guys here. So let's grab the road tool. I want to cut right through the tops of these trees about. So let's try to plop our factory now and see how that looks. Okay, so we can snap right up against the other factory. That's exactly what we want. And I'm going to get that same L shape like the other factory. So Edit this guy now. As you can see. Great, and I can put all my trucks in, so I got 2 factories. Nice tight configuration. Now here's the really good thing about this. You don't have to do this every time. This is just for figuring out, you know, what you wanna how you wanna build things together. There we go. Okay, so this is the sandbox, so let's say I want to plop this structure down repeatably, right? Well, there's a good way you can do this. You use these roads as a measuring device, okay? So I'm going to say low density road. I want, and make sure you hold down shift so you get the lock, and of course my other street isn't big enough. Okay, let's try that again. So, if I want to plop the same structure down, I need a road that's $818 wide by $489 tall. So then you can just write that number down, and you can go plop that into your city, and you get this nice tight configuration. You can see I've done some other ones here with processor plants. Oops, this guy wants me to do something. Processor plants. This is a sewage and water supply, which if you don't know, you'll start running your water table low if you have a big city. And you wouldn't think that you'd want to get water from the same place where your sewer plant is, but these sewer plants output a ton of water, so it's really good to be able to put these things close together. So I'm just playing with different configurations here in the sandbox to figure out, you know, what's going to get me the smallest footprint, the most used space, things like that, because you really are on a tight budget as far as real estate goes with your cities. So hope this idea is helpful to you, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks.